a sec.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
How's it going?
Weird. I'm just making sure that people on TikTok can hear you.
Yeah, good call.
Because that'll be awkward if, if you can't.
A little bit.
But
Just a little bit.
we'll wait a couple minutes, let everyone join in before we get underway. Matt, what up, brother? How you going, bud? You know that thing, Alex? The what up, brother thing?
No.
Okay.
What am I missing?
It's just a meme. Oh, nice. Formula RX8 shared our pod.
Oh, sweet.
That's all right.
Hi, Dustin.
Max Verstappen the GOAT, how you going, mate? What a weekend that was indeed, mate.
Good win, Max. Good win.
he dominated that, didn't he?
Are we surprised?
No.
I'm never surprised in Formula 1 anymore. Lance Stroll takes people out. Kevin Magnussen can't see. Verstappen wins races. Perez always comes behind Verstappen. Lando's a bit of a shock. No surprise.
Keith, thanks for the follow, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Max would have won by a lap if he wasn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally.
And if it wasn't for the safety car, Daniel Ricciardo would have finished in the points. Just saying.
Very true.
All right, let me just check YouTube is good to go before we get underway. We're just waiting a few minutes just to get everyone to get in. Of course, this is our Supercar live review for Taupo. So be sure to ask a question.
Yes.
To get involved into the podcast when we start the pod. I'm just making sure. Oh, by the way, if you want to check out the YouTube version, which is live right now as well, be sure to do so. Feel free to give a cheeky subscribe while you're there too. That'll help.
Subscribe.
Are we ready, Alex?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, I should load up the YouTube chat in case someone can go. That's right. That's what I forgot to do. Chat. There it is. Bear with me.
Oh, my predictions.
There we go. All right, let's get into it, as Max Verstappen, the GOAT, says. Are you ready, Alex?
Ready.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LTM podcast, powered by SLIPSTREAM Autosports. We're your hosts, Daniel and Alex, and welcome to our Taupo race review. Alex, how you going, mate? How was your busy weekend in Sydney?
What you just said, busy. Very busy, very fun. Didn't rain, thank God. Well, it did a little bit, but nothing that the drivers couldn't handle. Yeah, that was good fun. I missed the race, well, one of the Taupo, but that's okay. I watched the replay, and yeah, it looked very adventurous out there in the wet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indeed. It was
Quite
nuts.
hectic. No one wanted to use 10-1.
No, God no. But before we get into the V8 action, just a quick plug on about Alex being at Sydney. We have posted our report for the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. That's live on YouTube now if you want to check that out after this. You're more than welcome to do so. Be sure to leave a cheeky like there as well. It's also on Spotify if you want to do that as well. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating. So, round 3 of the 2024 Repco Supercars Championship was held at Taupo. I don't know what to call it.
New Zealand.
New Zealand round. It was a wet half of the weekend, and then Sunday it was completely dry. But yeah, what a weekend that was. We saw plenty of action. I got to say, not as exciting as Melbourne in terms of close racing.
Yeah,
although,
who thought we would have said that?
yeah, that was should have been the other way around.
Literally.
Max Verstappen, the GOAT, here says it was good racing, lots of overtaking. Red Bull's taking over Motorsport. They are indeed. Shady Malou is the best. How you going, mate? Who's your favourite driver? Of all time, I've got to say Craig Lowndes. Currently on the grid. It used to be Todd Hazelwood, but he's not on the grid technically at the moment. So I'm going to have to say either Brock Feeney or Will Brown. Alex,
That's my split.
As for both categories?
Oh, no, not all times. Lounsey and him.
Yeah.
But apart from them two, at the moment, it's probably Chaz.
He's a great bloke. Yeah, there's too many good drivers on the grid, so he's definitely on the top list for me. But yeah, you told me I had to pick one, so there you go.
And he picks two.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even
couldn't even do that.
Yikes. So yeah, overall, great weekend of racing. Like I said, Saturday was a bit wet. And it did put on a show Sunday. It was a bit more of a calm race. Red Bull were yet again dominant once again after a crap Saturday. They actually had a much better Sunday. Yeah, exactly. So how we normally do our V8 review is we run through the current team standings and, do it as we go along. Now, these are the current standings, which also mean this is the current pit lane order that they'll be going into Perth with. Scotty, how you going, mate? I thought the racing was okay at Taupo, but there is room. Oh yeah, there is room for improvement for sure. Like the wet race was a lot better, and like I said, Sunday definitely was a lot more tamer. So let's get straight into the ones that are leading the championship and the team standings at the moment. Red Bull Ampol Racing, they've got a whopping 17 points. Well, let me rephrase that. 1,517 points. There we go. What? Brock Feeney and Will Brown finished 21st and 9th, and then 2nd and 1st. So, like I said, a whole completely different day Sunday. Now, of course, Brock Feeney actually he actually spun at turn 1 on the Saturday race, and he in saying that, he actually struggled all weekend except for Sunday. Like he wasn't comfortable. He qualified outside the 10.
For everyone.
Well,
no
yeah.
one was really comfortable.
It's true. But compared to the other names that he's competing against, we're also in the top 10.
Yeah, that's true.
But he definitely, changed the tune Sunday, shootout, I believe, and then to get a second place. He was leading a good chunk of the race until his teammate came along. And of course, Sunday, Matt Payne, who originally got pole on Sunday, got beaten by Brock Feeney due to, I think, tyre wear. I just personally think Feeney can manage his tyres a lot more better than Payne, at least for now. So I believe that's what helped him. Plus, Red Bull in general just have good tyre management.
Yep.
And we saw that with Will Brown when he was pushing to get past Brock Feeney in that second race to clinch the win, which, gotta admit, has probably created a lot of tension in the garage with with Jamie Whincup and Martin Dutton. When they could have crashed maybe. And it is early in the championship too.
Yeah, but I think Will Brown is, I don't know, he's a bit less dirty than kind of Van Gisbergen was. Like, Van Gis didn't really care about who his teammate was. Will Brown, I don't know. It just seems like everything that's happened so far has been a lot more clean.
Oh, I've got to say,
but they're a bit more evenly matched. They're a bit more evenly matched though than Shane was with Brock.
Yeah. Well, Brock definitely didn't make it easy for Will on the Sunday race. And the thing is, they raced cleanly too, which was fantastic to see. Like, it was close, hard battling. Maybe a little nudge from Will Brown, but nothing severe. Also, did you see at the start of the Sunday's race, Will Brown and Brody Kostecki going neck and neck with each other?
Yeah.
That was cool to see. We never got to see that. We haven't seen that yet, and we finally get to see them competing in different teams.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Just looking at the chat here, Max Verstappen and Goat Chaz had bad luck as well. He sure did, and we will get into that very soon. Keith is just annoying. We have to wait 25 days. Yeah, mate, it's ridiculous. Hopefully next year we have a lot more of a dense or closer gap between each round. Scotty says...
I must admit, though, this is the only one I give leeway for because you're travelling from New Zealand to Perth.
Yeah.
This is the only round that I give leeway for the month break.
But the fact that we still have to wait pretty much a month now is bonkers. Scotty says, 3 rounds down, who's your pick for the champion? Alex, have you got one at this current point of time?
I think didn't we say Brock or
we said one
Brown
of those two
from the very beginning, and well, it's still only round 3, but it's looking that way.
I think
I'm just writing them down now. I can't believe Richie's 4th.
Yeah, he did very well. And he actually got into some bad luck, and we'll get into that a little bit later too. But I think in our season predictions we did at the beginning of the year, I think we said Brock Feeney would be the champion. And
I still think that.
I personally think it's still tricky. Will's definitely driving very, very well at the moment. He has a healthy gap between him and Feeney now. And I you know what? I reckon Will Brown can actually do it. It's going to be a tight fight for the rest of the season. But I am on the Will Brown train at the moment. Daniel, nice name. How you going, mate? He said, Will is a very smart driver. He'll race hard and clean all the time. Yep, definitely I agree with that.
Agreed.
Mr. Bin Chicken, it's hard not to go with the one of the Red Bull cars. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Unless Brody might be able to take the fight, but he didn't really have a great weekend. But he also does have some catching up to do. He, of course, did miss those 2 rounds. Seth, where did Brody get? We'll talk about him in a moment, but he finished 14th and 12th for the races this weekend.
He's last in the championship.
And he's last, yeah. But keep in mind, he did miss out the 2 races, 2 rounds. Philip says Tim Slade should have got a bigger penalty when he than what he got when he did that to Cam Waters. He did look like he turned into him. Have you seen the opening crash?
Yeah, but what penalty did he get?
I don't know. Did he get a penalty for it? I know he DNF'd
Well,
straight.
when they just took it out? Yeah, the
I think I'm pretty sure it's
Waters incident.
Scotty says Brody hit everything except the same and appeared not to be really interested. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going through Brody's mind at the moment, but I'm just glad he's back. Yeah, he didn't get a penalty. Yeah, no, I thought didn't think I missed something. But at least we clarified that. But speaking of Stanaway earlier, let's get into second place, which is still Penrite Racing. So it's great to see they are still where they are. They've got 1,036 points, so just a mere 400 odd away from Red Bull. Matt Payne finished 13th and 4th, and Richie Stanaway finished 6th and 13th. They had a pretty decent weekend overall in terms of pace. Unfortunately, luck didn't go their way on Saturday. Payne spun at turn 1, same as Brock Feeney, and then there was a pit drama, because of course during the safety car, they actually double stacked the Penrite cars, which is the reason why Payne is 13th. And Stanaway actually, Reynolds crashed into him in the pit lane.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was hectic. Everyone was going in at once, as you know, as they normally do when it's safety car. And Reynolds was told to go, so he did, but literally as he turned in, like as Richie turned in, Reynolds started pulling out, and then that kind of caused a kerfuffle.
Never a good look.
And then Matt Payne's just sitting there waiting, so that obviously delays his run as well. So unfortunately, he couldn't recover there. Sunday wasn't too bad. Matt Payne got the pole position, like I said before, and then also Richie Stanaway got punted off by Brody Kostecki in that final race as well. But overall, besides from that, pretty decent weekend for Penrite. Like I said, at least they're in the top 3 of the teams. And of course, they're in the pointy end of pit lane once again.
Yeah, they haven't moved. Same spot.
Yeah, which is good.
Erebus.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. Scotty says, did you guys know Richie used to race Speedway till he went car park racing back in the early 2000s? No, I did not. So thanks for that little factoid. And then Seth says Will Brown should have gotten a penalty in the first race from the wheel nut. Yeah, that was surprising. I don't know if you saw that, Alex. When Will Brown went into the pits, one of his wheel nuts decided to go flying back to Australia.
In the pit lane?
Yeah, it went flying back to Australia. And I'm honestly shocked that there's no penalty given to that. Normally it is. So who knows?
Yeah, but it's Red Bull, so they get a little...
Good point.
Bias.
You heard it here first. Third place, Erebus Motorsport. They've gone back up to the pointy end of pit lane once again with 934 points. Jack LeBrock finished 5th and 8th, and Brody Kostecki finished 14th and 12th. Definitely not the weekend the champ wanted to start his season on, but then again, like we said before, not sure what his mental state is regarding the team, because if you don't know, we have made a podcast about the whole Brody situation, so be sure to check that out if you want some information. But he could be just there for the sake of seeing out his contract. But
I think that's it.
But you know,
well, like, I don't know, like, he's got to prove to other teams that he's still here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't know what's going to happen with him and possibly a NASCAR gig. I don't think that'll happen now that Peter Adderton's kicked him out of his team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, who knows?
Jay Thompson, thanks for the follow, mate. Appreciate it. And thanks for the rose as well. So about Brody, I say this a lot. I reckon that, you know, he should. The reason why I think he should do well is because, like this year, even despite all the Erebus drama, is because I can't multitask.
Yeah, I'm writing too.
Bloody hell! Hang on.
Good podcast. Silence.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate it. You're a legend, Jay. By the way, for those on YouTube, by the way, if you go to TikTok while we're live, if you send a gift or subscribe on there, your name will be featured here. All the subscribers as well, your name will be featured in every podcast video we do, and also in the description as well. So if that sounds like something you want to do, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, back to the Erebus thing. Yeah, with Brody, the reason why I think he should do well this season, despite all the drama, is because years to come, right, you look at the results, the historic records and stuff, often you just see the name. You never really you don't really focus on the team that he was part of at the time. You always focus on the driver, if that makes sense, like the name of the driver. But then again, it is, you know, tricky.
The problem is his name is being kind of tampered with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. For sure.
In a way. So, yeah, and as much as you'd want to do that and say that, that itself may not be good unless, you know, things improve.
Yeah. Like I said, hopefully as the year goes on, this stuff starts to tone down a lot. And hopefully we do get some answers eventually. Because that will also help end things as well. I guess.
Yeah, we need that.
But who knows when that happens, and don't worry, we'll be covering all of that when it does, so be sure to tune in to Let's Talk Motorsport for that. Next up, I'm happy to say this, finally. 4th position is Dick Johnson Racing. They have finally moved up We said heading
They
into the
jumped up
week.
heaps.
Yeah, we said heading into the weekend they needed a good result, and that's exactly what they had. Anton De Pasquale, 2 third-place finishes. Will Davison, a second place and a 19th. We'll ignore that part.
Gloss over that part.
But the podiums is fantastic, and definitely helps them in the long run for sure. And of course, also De Pasquale actually won the Jason Richards Memorial Trophy as well for the weekend, so that's cool to see.
Oh, beautiful.
I think Heimgartner just lost it. He came second for that one. But no, it's great to see DJR up to where they should be. Of course, they've had a rough start to the Gen 3 era. So hopefully they can, keep the momentum going. But the thing is, based off Will Davison's, I think he had some troubles. I'm not too sure, but hopefully, this isn't just because it was a wet race, a wet weekend sort of thing.
No, he did say in qualifying for race 8, the second race, that he made a mistake and didn't get into the shootout. And, once you're back there, you're back there. So, yeah.
It is hard to... Yeah, fair enough. It is hard to move up sometimes. But it's funny, actually, that reminds me, Ryan Wood... There was a video of Greg Murphy and Ryan Wood talking, and Ryan Wood was saying to Greg Murphy... did you know if you qualify well and you start up the front? That was funny. I enjoyed that. But that's pretty much it though. It's easier the higher up you are. And
well, actually, speaking of Ryan Wood, good segue to 5th place here, which is Walkinshaw.
With Walkinshaw with 899 points. They had a good weekend.
Ryan Wood,
sort of.
2 top 10s.
Yeah, pretty good. And made it into
one car had a good weekend.
Okay, let's get that.
The other one was let's just say the F word was used a few times.
Oh yeah. All Goodwin, thanks for the follow, mate. Appreciate it. So Chaz Mostert, 22nd and 7th, and then Ryan Wood, 4th and 10th. Now, with Chaz, that is not where he belongs, and with the car pace he had, that's not where he's should be. He should have technically finished second in the first race. He was battling Andre that whole race. That was a fantastic battle with him neck and neck, only for him to lose his wheel at the end after his second pit stop. Now apparently it was due to a cross thread of the nut, which is why the wheel went flying and actually went into a portaloo, which is funny.
Did it really?
Yeah, so I posted on everyone's motor... I can't even remember. It used to be called the Erebus Racing Group fan page thing on Facebook. I honestly can't remember what it's called because Erebus asked them to actually change the name. Everyone's Motorsport page or something. Anyway, people who are in it, they'll know. And... David, I think his name, put up there, and I was like, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So there you go. But yeah, he had a horrible weekend, and the worst part about it is when he went back to the pits to get that wheel back on, as he left the pit lane, guess who was next to him? Heimgartner, lapping him. That is just a stabbing. That was just a knife in the heart, basically. That is just, and then Ryan Wood was also catching up to him as well. So that is just torture. And Sunday he had a bad pit stop, and he was fuming. He just did not have a good weekend, unfortunately. But Ryan Wood, on the other hand, did. He did very well.
We were saying that what we needed from him was some good finishes.
Yeah,
staying out of trouble, and happened twice.
And he has moved up in the championship. He's 16th, I believe. And he also, we said this before, he actually holds the race lap record for the supercars around the track at the moment.
Yeah.
So not bad. Not bad indeed. Next up is Team 18. They've moved down the order from third with 877 points. Mark Winterbottom, 11th and 17th, and David Reynolds, 16th and 24th. Now, this is not where they belong. Mark Winterbottom with the 11th, yeah, sort of, like, minimum 11th onwards. But they were bullied pretty much all weekend. Like I said, with the whole pit stop thing, that was sort of his own fault there. That their team's fault. But I think Kostecki, the Sunday race, actually, he actually spun James Courtney around at turn 1, but Reynolds was on the outside of Kostecki and he got stuck. So that's just unlucky. So that's why he finished 24th, because he was dropping down in the order.
Right.
It wasn't even his fault. It was just because how they did it is he spun James Courtney around, but James Courtney didn't spin fully. He just like stuck like that. So yeah. Bit unlucky there, but they do have the pace, like we saw with in Melbourne. So I'm excited to see how they go in Perth. All Goodwin says they need to change the rules on double stacking. That was it's really messy, and we see it all the time in supercars. Need to find a way to manage it a bit better, but it's a bit tricky at times too. Next up, 7th position with 800 and what have I written here? I can't even read my own bad writing. 859 points is Matt Stone Racing. Nick Percat 19th and a 16th, and Cameron Hill 20th and 11th. Yeah, honestly, where were they this weekend? Obviously, Cam Hill was just outside the 10, but
Percat qualified last.
But yeah, like compare them to their performance in Melbourne. Like, that's unfortunate to see. Isn't it?
It seems like to me that they'll go around a track that's more fast paced. Taupo was quite a slow track.
It was a very slow track. Yeah, you're not wrong there.
So maybe Perth will be better for them because it's quite quick. Obviously it's short. So I think they'll bounce back, but maybe it just wasn't their track.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But obviously, it's the first time everyone was there. Hopefully, this is the last of the bad weekends. Speaking of a bad weekend, 8th position.
They cannot catch a break.
Tickford Racing with 854 points. Cam Waters 22nd and a 9th, with Thomas Randall 12th and 15th. They have not had the year. They have not had the start that they've hoped for. Obviously, we know how good they are, but they just haven't had luck. Like, obviously, Cam Waters, he got that pole position on the Saturday, only to, have his race ruined by the Tim Slade incident. And he actually made a comment about, he said, effing standing starts. He hates standing starts when it's raining. He thinks the race should start under the safety car. But personally, I'm against that. I rather prefer the standing starts.
To be fair, there's nothing wrong with the standing starts. It's just he got just collected by Tim Slade.
Yeah.
Like, his start was fine.
It's just a racing incident, shit happens. And he got away with it anyway. He lost his, what's it called? Bit of the side. But Tim Slade, obviously DNF after that. But it was crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, he can't catch a break at the moment. Thomas Randall, I'm not too sure what happened to him. He's sort of mid-pack this weekend, unfortunately. So they're obviously hoping for a better round in Perth. So we'll see what happens. Having a quick look at the chat here. Melbourne was good to be there. Yeah, I bet. It was fantastic to watch it on the TV. Obviously, it would be better being at the track. Flack, the rain is the best weather to race. Plus, there was so many... you mean safety cars? Because you said so many supercars, and I'm like, of course there is, because it's supercars. But I assume you meant safety cars, because, yeah, rain can create carnage sometimes. And Keith says Thomas had issues with the car since Melbourne. Okay. Yeah, no, he didn't have a good run in Melbourne either, unfortunately. Only
the last race was good for him.
But yeah, here is a team I'm happy to say they did really well. Well, half of them did. The RJ Batteries Middies car team, which got 808 points, with Andre getting a win on home soil, and with Bryce Forward in a 6th, and then on Sunday, DNF, and then on Sunday, Andre got 6th, and Bryce got 18th. So yeah, fantastic. I'm so happy about Andre. And we said it. You said a Kiwi would win. You just didn't say the right one.
I got one prediction right. Yeah, I did say a Kiwi would win.
But that counts. So pat on the back for you. But
yes.
No, I'm so happy. I'm so glad he won. It's also BJR's first win since Sydney 2020 when Nick Percat won. Back when he had the Dunlop car. I remember from memory because we had our baby shower literally the day before or the day of it. So I think it was the day before. I can't remember. It was so that long ago. And I remember Nick Percat was driving that car. So that was
Wow.
And Andre's second win as well.
Oh yeah, the Dunlop car. I remember that.
It's when they came back from COVID. So that was good to see. So yeah, no, he drove very, very well. Like it wasn't even luck or anything. It was pure pace. And it was fantastic to see. And even, Sunday was a good race for him too. He climbed his way up to 6th. He didn't, he wasn't as good as Saturday, but he still did rather well. Bryce Forward, on the other hand, however, he actually got spun out by Jack LeBrock in race 1. And unfortunately, someone, I think, bumped into him, and then he had a issue with the car after that and couldn't get it going again. I'm not too sure what happened to him Sunday, though, from memory. But, yeah, I'm just happy that Andre won, personally. Next up is in 10th position, Premier Hire Racing with 788 points. James Golding finished 7th and 5th, while Tim Slade got DNF in 21st, which is a real shame for Tim Slade.
He was top 10 at the start of that race.
He was in the shootout. I can't remember. He was in the shootout, though.
No point.
But I reckon James Golding was the dark horse of the weekend. He was the silent successor.
Where did he finish in the the Richards Trophy? Because he would have been up there.
He would be up there. I'm not too sure. I haven't got the standings for it because I'm not sure if Supercars actually put it up or not. There wasn't a lot of talk of the Jason Richards Trophy, to be honest, unfortunately, throughout the weekend. It wasn't as hyped up as it should be. Of course, there were a couple things, but they were the silent achievers, I reckon. Well, at least James Golding was. And are you searching it up now? You got it, have you?
Yeah, he came 4th.
So and there you go.
Supercars do post, by the way.
Did they? Okay, never mind. Sorry, Supercars. You win this time around. You do have many issues with your website, though, so do fix it. So that's besides the point.
It was De Pasquale, Heimgartner, Brown, Golding, LeBrock. Top 5.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. Not bad. I obviously didn't pay attention. I was too busy making that report. But you were too busy in Sydney, so there you go. That's the shoes on the other foot.
Yeah,
but next up...
Tim Slate came last.
We don't talk about that. Next up is 11th place with the second half of the BGR crew, the STT Logistics and technically Pizza Hut car, which is the Wendy's this time around, with 599 points. Jackson Evans, he did really well to finish 10th in Saturday and 14th on Sunday. Mackie Jones, 18th and 20th. Yeah, I was impressed with Jackson. Obviously, we know he's a good driver. Obviously, it's not the great car. But I'm just happy to see him in the top 10. Rookies did well this time around. Even Aaron Love, in a minute, he got 15th in the first race. Which
it wasn't bad, was it?
No, so rookies did well. Flack, what team do you go for? Alex, have you got one team? I haven't got one team, so I'm going to have to work out one team.
Nope.
No, you don't? Truth is, I can't work out one team, so I'm going to say my top 3.
Look, when Scott McLaughlin left, I bought a Chaz Monster t-shirt. Does that count?
Yeah, so Walkinshaw then. You support... So, your favourite... Okay, your favourite is Kostecki. Fucking... Not Kostecki.
What? No.
Mostert.
Yes.
They go...
And I own a t-shirt of Walkinshaw. So that's
okay, Walkinshaw then, yeah. Well, my top 3 Probably.
You can never have one.
I can't have three. I can't have one. Look, I can name all of them if I want. Every time I'm on a live, right?
Your favourite's Jack Smith.
Yep, there you go. He's the GOAT, obviously. There's no question about it. Don't mess with my GOAT. Jack Smith is a legend, mate. Now we just show now we just show a flashback of you that reel that we made ages ago. Yeah. Oh, expect a reel in the coming days with that. No, I have to say my top three is Red Bull, Walkinshaw, and Team 18. But here's when
Red Bull.
Yeah, I go for Brock and Wheel.
Okay. Be different. Change it up.
So this is the last podcast we're ever going to do. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I did change it up. I added Walkinshaw and Team 18.
To be number one with Red Bull.
Fine, Walkinshaw.
Thank you.
Red Bull. No, I'm kidding.
No one can go for Red Bull. It's too boring.
No, okay, if I have to pick one, it's going to have to be Walkinshaw, I have to say.
Brad Jones.
Well, don't do that. I do go for them too.
BRT.
That's what I mean. I might as well just name the whole list here. But speaking of the list, let's go on to who's last place at the moment. Blanchard Racing with 570 points, with James Courtney 17th and 22nd, and Aaron Love 15th and 23rd. Saturday race is a bit where we expect them to be. Obviously, a bit higher. We expect them to be a bit higher, but compared to their results so far. Sunday, however, like I said, James Courtney got spun out by Kostecki, who got a penalty, by the way. Forgot to mention that. So, yeah, obviously brought back all the way down to the bottom. And once you're down the bottom, it's kind of tricky to get back up the top unless your name's Max Verstappen. But there you go. But that is the team standings and the race review for Taupo. I don't even know how to properly say it. But let's have a quick look at the drivers' standings after round 3. So Will Brown has a comfortable gap between Brock Feeney. He's got 809 points. Chaz Mostert is 3rd. Richie Stanaway is 4th position, like you said earlier. Matt Payne is 5th as well, only 4 points away from Stanaway. Percat is 6th. LeBrock 7th. Heimgartner is 8th. Davison and Golding, that's your 10. Then we've got David Reynolds and Anton Di Pasquale. Thomas Randall is the leading Tickford at the moment in 13th, with Mark Winterbottom in 14th. Cameron Waters is 15th, not where he belongs, obviously. Hopefully he moves up later on. 16th is Cam Hill, 17th Courtney, and then we've got Evans. Ryan Wood has moved up to 19th after being last time out. And then we've got Bryce Forward. Tim Slade is... Ryan is tying with Bryce Forward at the moment with 316 points. And Tim Slade is also tying with Todd Hazelwood, who's still 22nd place, despite not racing. Yeah. And then we've got Macaulay Jones in 23rd, Aaron Love 24th, and last but not least, Brody Kostecki with only 135 points. Now, that's not going to stay like that way for the rest of the season. Obviously, he will move up the field, but of course, he did miss out the first 2 rounds. Now, Alex, who was your driver of the weekend? Or who do you reckon would be?
Di Pasquale.
Yeah? Well, he did do quite well.
Well, considering they were nowhere, and then gets 2/3.
That is true.
Yeah, him or Golding or Heimgartner were really, really good, outstanding. Or the standouts, I should say.
Yeah, I've written down Andre for me personally, because considering how the year has gone for him and the team so far, it's definitely a fantastic result to get a win. But he's also in the top 10 for majority of the weekend, which was great to see. But yeah, that win to win on home soil was just very special. And he did it very well too.
Yep.
So
remember how we made predictions at the start of the year when we said which driver who hasn't won?
Yep.
And then I said Heimgartner, even though I forgot he won a race.
Yeah.
Does that still count?
Yeah, that technically counts, but it doesn't count as the prediction itself. It counts as a race winner.
Yeah.
There you go. So technically, yeah. But speaking of predictions, have a quick look at how we went with our predictions for what we made on the preview. We didn't do too well. Alex, you said Kostecki would get a podium.
No, I said top 5. We said this before.
I watched back the video. Top podium or a top 5. Still, either way.
Yeah, still didn't work.
And I said at least a top 10. Also, a Kiwi win. You got that one, so congratulations. You just got the driver wrong. You said Matt Payne or Richie Stanaway. You were like, it's either going to be Richie Stanaway or Matt Payne.
That counts.
Yeah, technically you're right. Though.
Thanks, Andre. Thanks, mate.
I said Payne would get a podium. That didn't happen, unfortunately. He just missed out on the Sunday race. Red Bull, I said they were hard to beat. Not on Saturday, but yes, on Sunday.
Yep.
And Wood would get a good result, and he did. So
very good.
There we go. How good.
Not
so
bad.
That is it for our Taupo review. Of course, next time out is the Bosch Powers Tools Perth Super Sprint, which is 17th to the 19th of May. Bit of a wait. But
it's the same weekend as the iRacing 24-hour Nürburgring.
Is it? It's also the same weekend as the round 2 for Pedal Prix as well, which I will be commentating. So if you do go to...
Not much content for Supercars.
No, we're not going to... I don't know if we'll be able to watch it.
No, I'm able to watch it.
No, so for those in SA... yeah, here's the review of here's the review of the highlights. Highlights 10 out of 10. Yeah, so if you are in South Australia and or if you're planning to around that time, be sure to go to Tail and Bend, the Bend Motorsport Park, Shell V-Power Motorsport Park for round 2 of the Uni SA Pedal Prix series. I'll be there on track commentating, so I'm excited for that. So if you do see my face, be sure to say hi.
Run away.
And run away. Or that. This is Alex's last podcast, everyone. I do just want to thank him for being part of it. No, I'm kidding. You're not going anywhere. So yeah, overall, Alex, from based off what you could have watched, what do you think of the weekend overall?
It was good. It was something different. I feel like the track is very different to any other the supercars go to, in terms of being just tight, twisty, few straights. I reckon that last corner is really cool, like the chicane into a corner. That's different.
Yeah, that's cool.
They don't do that anywhere else.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, you could watch that the drivers were struggling to make that next corner.
100%, man.
Yeah,
because they're coming from the opposite side of the road.
Yeah, well, Ryan Wood, he made that mistake in the shootout on Sunday, where he ran wide.
Yes, yeah, he did. Yeah,
run wide. Would you call it running wide or cut the next corner?
No, running wide.
It's a bit tricky. Soul Sniper, how you going, mate?
Then screwed up the next one.
Also, shout out to Soul Sniper, who also shares the same birthday as me, so we're legends. What thoughts about the race weekend? I thought it was great.
Your birthday was only last week, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Mentally, I'm 4 years old, so there you go.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask. But what do you think of the racetrack itself? And would you like to see supercars back there again next year at that track?
Yeah, look, they did seem like they struggled in the corners, which, as a really heavy car, not surprised about. I think it is not a bad location. It's definitely different, and I think for that reason, you're going to keep it there. If there's another track that's more, fast or something, perhaps, but I didn't mind it.
Do you want to see maybe 2 rounds in New Zealand? Like, maybe
go to it, it'd be very expensive.
It would. Maybe go to if they stay there a little bit longer, like back-to-back rounds. Like, we go to Taupo and then we go to Hampton Downs, maybe.
I wouldn't mind. I don't really know many New Zealand tracks, from being brutally honest, but I think that if there's a way to make, they used the soft tires this week, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
I feel like they did 2 pit stops, didn't they, everyone?
Yeah. It was 2 compulsory stops.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do really to change that.
I just want to shout out here for giggles. Is Lance Stroll the worst driver ever? Big yes.
Yeah,
I am 100% saying yes. We are going to do
we
a
are both
F1
on the hate
podcast.
tape
We're doing an F1
tomorrow.
podcast tomorrow, so be sure to tune in for our reaction to that. Because, man,
It was a heck of a reaction.
I'm not going to answer that now because I don't want to get angry.
Ruined my night.
Yeah, there you go. I was having a good night until that name appeared. Not yours here for giggles, Lance's name. But let's wrap this up. Any final thoughts, Alex, before we close tonight?
Nah, it was a great opening round at Taupo, which is how you pronounce it, by the way.
I'm sure
I like how
wrong.
they did the. I like how they did the driving on the road before the round. That was cool.
That was very cool. We need to see that here more. We get a few.
Definitely.
We do get a few like that, but we need it every round. Yeah, that was cool. He was having fun. And apparently, fun fact, you know what I learned from that? Jack LeBrock doesn't wear shoes in a race car. Well, he doesn't like wearing shoes, not racing shoes, but like, yeah, because Erebus put up a video of them doing that. And someone was like, "Where's your shoes?" And he was like, "I don't like wearing them in race cars." So that's a fun little fact. So there you go. So maybe he's a barefoot racer on the sim. Who knows?
That explains a lot. Anyway, that's all right. Yeah, no, it was a great weekend. Great inaugural round at Taupo, and see you next year.
It should be good for sure. Here for Gil said Anton raced very well. Yeah, he did, mate. He definitely did for sure. Good. So that is our review done and dusted. For those who are joined the live, welcome. Thanks for joining. I do appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions and the follows as well. Means a lot. And also, guys, stick around. We will be doing I'll be doing a live a little bit after. But for those who couldn't watch the whole thing, this will be re-uploaded to YouTube tomorrow night at 4 p.m. So be sure to check that out too if you want. Of course, this live will be turned into a private video, so So it looks nice and pretty for tomorrow. Very good. Yeah, be sure to check out our socials, which is down below on the screen. It's also in the description below. Check out SLIPSTREAM Autosport socials. Also check out our Hi-Tec Oils Super Series review or report. That's in the description below, so be sure to check that out if you want. Thanks for joining, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow night for our Formula One Chinese Grand Prix review. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Okay, for those who are sticking around on TikTok, I'm going to have a 5-minute break and then I'll make a new live. So it's more HD for TikTok. All right, just for those who want to tune in for that. So don't go away. I'll disappear, but I'll come back. So, I'm going to stop the live now. So thanks everyone who has tuned in for now. I hope to see you very, very soon.
Very good.